Good evening, trendsetters. You may be wondering where on earth I am, and at the moment I'm standing very close to the Victoria Falls Bridge, the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe, or what used to be North and South Rhodesia in colonial times. This is the Royal Livingstone Express, and I can tell you that standing next to this steam engine, a working steam engine in Zambia, is quite incredible. Just have a look, have a listen. If you could smell it, have a smell. Feel the warmth, the heat coming off the boiler. Coal-fired with Zambian coal. This locomotive was probably made in the United States. The carriages are British, and there's a gentleman just going past me on a bicycle, but here we are, the Royal Livingstone Express, walking down onto the Victoria Falls Bridge. And on the Victoria Falls Bridge you can see Victoria Falls. Victoria Falls is the largest waterfall in the world in terms of drop. Now you can argue about Iguazu and Niagara and all that kind of stuff, but in terms of drop, here we are. Cecil Rhodes wanted this bridge built here. He wanted it built so the spray of the falls would fall on the faces of the passengers. And if you can look down there, even though the water is low, you can see an enormous amount of water charging through. In high water, all of those rocks disappear, and you can see the permanent lichens and moss on the left and the right of the screen there that are constantly fed by the spray. It's coming up to evening now, and we're on the bridge. This bridge, built in Britain, in Darlington, designed, built upside down because it was easier, probably put in exactly the wrong place just to make a man's ego better. These railway carriages are old Rhodesian Railways carriages and then North Rhodesian Railways carriages. They were refurbished by Rovos Rail. The standard inside makes the Orient Express look like British Rail. And the reason I've still got the camera rolling, friends, is because as I have a look at the falls, you can see on the left hand side is Zimbabwe, and that's where I'm heading. I'm going to Zimbabwe just because I can. Right hand side, Livingstone. Left hand side, Zimbabwe. During the civil war in Rhodesia, the left hand side had the Rhodesian Light Infantry, the Rhodesia Regiment, Rhodesian African Rifles, protecting what they thought was the fight against communism. On the right hand side you had the Chinese and you had the Russians, and they were backing up the Zipper and Zanla chaps from Zambia. But that's all politics. Let's say no more about politics. Let's just do what I've come here to do, which is to cross the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia. Here I am. You can see a sign on there on the left hand side there, entering Zimbabwe. And trendsetters, this is it. That piece of cut in the tarmac is the border. That's it. I'm now in Zimbabwe. As you can see by the sign, you are now entering Zambia. The train, of course, stops short inside Zambia, so as not to cause trouble. And if you're taking the train from the Zimbabwe side, your train will stop just short on the Zimbabwe side. And what an amazing experience this is. You literally can't put a finger on how stunning this really is. Even the crew of the train take photographs every time they do it. And there you are, trendsetters. Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe on the left, Zambia on the right, two absolutely majestic nations that must be visited on a regular basis as soon as possible because they're both fantastic value and totally safe. That's all from me, Victoria Falls Bridge.